Instagram stories for Wednesday, June 12th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. The biggest news of the day has to do with the app BeReal. Do you remember BeReal? It was kind of a big deal a couple of years ago. It was all about getting a notification on your phone and having to take a picture using the front and back camera within 2 minutes of getting that notification. You had to show what you were doing in the moment. There weren't any filters or didn't give you a chance to take a shower, fix your hair, do all those things. You just had to share exactly what was going on and where you were at that time. Usage of the app has dropped off dramatically since it first launched. When it initially launched, it was getting about 70 million users per month. However, that's now down to about 30 million active users per month, although people who open up and view the app, all said and done, counts to about 50 million per month. As reported by the Financial Times, which I will link to in the show notes, the initial plan of the buyer Voodoo is to launch ads in the app, but it says that it will also be seeking to grow its active user base to 100 million monthly active users. How they're going to do that remains to be seen because that is a pretty big ask. I will link to the article in the Financial Times in the show notes so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, let's jump over to some Instagram news now. Social media expert and friend of the show, Matt Navarra, posted on his threads that Instagram is testing having ads in stories, but overlaid on top of existing stories that you watch from your friends. So right now, when you tap through your stories, you see an ad every 2 or 3 accounts that you go through their stories. This would be a separate overlay ad on stories that you watch from your friends. I will link to what this looks like in the show notes so you can see for yourself. Really hoping that Instagram does not implement this more broadly, but I have a feeling that they will because there is more money to be made. Next up, it appears that Instagram is working on a way for creators to make an AI bot version of themselves that can interact with followers. According to the screenshots posted by reverse engineering hacker Alessandro Paluzzi, when you are going through this experience on Instagram, you are invited to create an AI version of yourself. And it says underneath, engage more fans with an AI that sounds like you based on your content and information. And you are given the option to try it. You can also create a custom AI by selecting an idea to get started or building a custom AI from scratch. I'm not 100% sure what that means when it comes to selecting an idea to get started. When you start to create that AI version of yourself, it says you can make a personality, game, productivity tool, or anything you can come up with. It gives you options to see what's possible, like select an idea for inspiration or describe an AI yourself. You can choose your audience, chat privately, or make an AI public for anyone to discover. And it reminds you to create with respect. By making an AI public, you acknowledge you've read the AI studio policies with a link to whatever those happen to be. At first, when I was reading about this, I didn't really like the idea, but the more I thought about it, I am potentially interested. If this AI can look at previous content that I've made and create something very similar without me having to do any work, and the content is good, I'm invested in that. According to a recent New York Times article about this, Meta says the point of doing all of this is to assist popular creators in dealing with admin tasks, like responding to fan comments. First, I can't imagine a popular creator actually responding to my comment ever, but if I knew that a bot had responded to it, I think I would like that idea even worse. Okay, we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, someone from Instagram is going to answer the question if the performance of your current posts affects the performance of your future posts. So stick around. And we are back. Next up, let's have a member of the Instagram team give us a little bit of information about how your current posts performing impacts your future posts performing. Let me explain. If you create a post and it doesn't do that well, what does that mean for the next post that you make? Sometimes it feels like you're in a slump of just content that you're making not performing that well. Chiru Weinstein, who works in the creator marketing group at Instagram, answers that question. Here's the clip.
Hi, I'm Shiro and I work at Instagram. Today, I'll answer a question we hear all the time. If one of my posts underperforms, is that going to hurt my future posts or my account? The short answer is no. We primarily evaluate each post on its own merits. Just because a post underperforms doesn't mean future posts are going to see reduced reach or distribution. Now, there may be exceptions. If your content underperformed because it wasn't recommendable, or if your account repeatedly posted content that goes against our community guidelines, then previous content could impact your account's reach or how future content is distributed. Use our account status tool to see if you've posted any content that goes against our community guidelines and if it may lead to any account restrictions and limitations. So what should you do if your post underperforms? Try to understand why. Was it the topic, when you posted, your hook? Check insights for metrics like average watch time, or look at comments for specific feedback. Not every post is going to be a success, but it is an opportunity to learn what content resonates with your audience. You might be tempted to make changes to your post or delete it altogether. We don't re-rank a piece of content because you've made changes to it, like editing the caption. If you do see a positive difference, it could be because that change improved how people viewed your post. Deleting a post altogether won't help or hurt, but it will cause you to lose its insights, so do consider the pros and cons before taking permanent action. More to come as we share answers to top questions.
So there you have it. You get a fresh slate every time you post a new piece of content when it comes to Instagram. And the last clip we're going to discuss today, why do carousels perform better than Reels on Instagram? Have you ever had that experience? Someone asked the question of Adam Mosseri, explain how for me, Reels are the least best performing content. My carousel posts get more engagement and reach. Here's Adam's answer to that question.
Here's a question from a creator about why her carousels do better than her reels, given that normally we talk about how reels do better than everything else on Instagram. It's a good example of the fact that there are no silver bullets. There's not one piece of advice that works for all creators. In this case, a couple of things to consider. One, carousels give you multiple chances to show up in people's feeds, because we might show the first post in the carousel to someone, and then if they don't swipe to the second or the third, we might show it again, automatically swiped to the second or to the third post. And in this case, she's doing something really creative. She is using a carousel to first show you how she did her makeup, and then you can swipe and see the end product to tell a richer story. A great example of a creator using our tools in a way that we did not anticipate to tell a story in an authentic and engaging way. So maybe try it out.
Yes, I always recommend using your carousel to tell a story. That is going to do it for today's episode. I'm going to tell you that on the next episode of this show that I make, I am going to do a deep dive into why Instagram does not pay creators the way it should based on a recent podcast interview that Adam Mosseri did. I will tell you that I am 100% fired up about the reason that Instagram does not pay creators, because it is a terrible reason. Be sure to come back next time for that. Rap song.
Let me tell you a couple things that you should know about me. A product manager but do not have a bachelor's degree, but actually that's factually a fraction of me. Another fraction's posting content irregular and irrationally. Still probably won't get a job at the gram. They forgot, they don't know, or don't care who I am. That's why you never see me at the parties and events. My lack of followers must make me irrelevant. Don't have a course, a book to sell to make a bag of grand. Not a social media marketer, don't represent any brands. Plain to see, don't have an agency, but I got a lot of spam. Just putting in my work without the glitz and glam. Won't catch me eating fish unless it's shrimp or clam. No six pack, no risk that there's a gym card in my hand. Don't have a full-time job, but I got a lot of plans. Stay plotting, dropping knowledge on TikTok and Instagram.